As I said, we created a policy in 2016 at a point of time when central government brought a Startup India program. We were exactly at that point of time we came up with this policy, and even as of now, our policy is best in class in terms of incentives. Still, we are trying to revise it. We are trying to bring up a new policy, which is going to be more dynamic, more futuristic, and would meet the requirement of a startup ecosystem for another decade or 2 decades. In new policy, we are going to give more focus on the campuses, on the students, in schools, in colleges. We want to create a maker culture, a culture of creativity in entire state. We want to reach this culture, take this culture to every nook and corner. It should not be city-centric initiative, and therefore it will be all pervasive. So, and we also want to capitalize on the ecosystem that we have within the state. We believe that the angel investment ecosystem is much needed to promote the startup ecosystem, and therefore we will network all the HNIs of Odisha, wherever they are, doctors, engineers, lawyers, chartered accountants, professors. All these people will be networked through the channel so that they develop angel funding network in their own cities, in their own towns, so that the young boys and girls, as soon as they have some idea, they get connected to the angel investment network. Apart from the venture support that we have already provisioned in terms of Odisha Startup Growth Fund, we will develop this entire angel funding network in the state so that this is also made available. As I said, the academic institutions are the breeding ground, and therefore we want to
Institutions starting from school level?
school also, yeah, of course. This new policy will address school students, college students, as well as startups who are registered company. We are carrying and taking care of these aspects. In fact, if you look at the Startup Yatra 2.0, which was launched by Honorable CM in August 2022, it traveled all across Odisha, all 30 districts, 100 colleges, outreached 10,000 students, collected 3,000 pitching ideas, and it went to every nook and corner of Odisha. So young boys and girls from Dhekanol, Bolangir, Kalahandi, Koraput, Malkangiri, they all participated in our pitching program. They shared their views, their idea. They came up with team and they participated in boot camps. And therefore, it was actually to achieve the inclusiveness that you are just talking about. Based on the successes that we have, based on the input that we have, experiences that we had from Startup Yatra, we immediately launched a pilot program, Startup Express Yatra. It was meant for the school students. 19 districts, in this Startup Mela, we felicitated the winners. They come up with more than 300 pitching ideas, great ideas. They're young boys and girls from the schools. So the point is that this Startup Odisha is an organization which is being inclusive. The new policy will be absolutely inclusive. It will meet the requirement of young boys and girls, whether they are studying in schools or if they are studying in colleges, technical institutions, business schools, R&D institutions. They will all be able to access the services, the incentives, the programs that they are required to have, so that they could convert their ideas into technology product, and eventually they could become startups. In fact, this revision of this policy is aimed at this only, so that we can make this policy highly accessible, highly pervasive, and highly competitive. It is still best in class in terms of incentives. So if but for incentive, we would not have required to revise it. So incentives are already in place, but we want to make it more inclusive. It has to reach to schools, colleges, every nook and corner.
From which classes?
It has to be the 10th, 12th. So it has to go to the schools. As soon as a young boy and girl is able to ideate and share their idea, they should be our target. So this is the way we are working on this. This policy is going to be, as I said, very, very inclusive, and it will have the provisions so that every school, every university, every college, every B school become our node with this policy. So this is the kind of ambition and aspiration that we have for this future.